Hey everybody, it's Josh Ellsworth with Stahls and Stahls Transfer Express, and I'm excited that you've chosen to join our live webinar today, where I'm broadcasting to you from my office here in Uniontown, Pennsylvania, and talking to you all about selling more online. Hopefully, throughout today's presentation, you'll have a chance to participate by chatting in your questions. If you see anything today that you want to know more about or have any questions, that's why I'm here. That's why we're live. So make sure you chat them in, but I certainly have a jam-packed presentation that I want to walk you through on how to sell more online overall. I think I'll be able to share some secrets, hopefully some things you didn't know before, and ultimately point you towards a solution that can help you sell more products online, business to business, or even B2C with decorated products with a heat press. So make sure you shout out, let me know who you are and where you're watching from. I am going to warm us up a little bit as we still have a lot of folks logging in by launching just a couple polls. The first poll I have for you is to just ask, are you selling products online today? So I'm going to push that out to you. If you can take a minute to just answer that question. I know I'm always keen to know how many people are selling their products online today versus not. It helps me understand at what level to approach the session with. So go ahead, give you a few more seconds to get those answers in. And let's go ahead, and still some answers coming in. And that poll. All right, and it looks like 55% of the audience already has their products online, which is great. 44% does not, and I'm sure there's some change in there to equal our 100%, but we'll be able to give you a solution today to maybe do it a better way if you already have your products online, or an additional way, because more revenue streams are better, in my opinion. And for those that aren't online, we'll perhaps show you a good way to get started. One more poll before I enter into the content here. And that is, have you heard of Spirit Sale prior to this webinar? Most of our topic today is going to be around Spirit Sale, which is the online platform that we've created at Stahls and Stahls Transfer Express to sell decorated apparel, customized apparel, specifically built for heat printers by people that understand heat printing. I'm just curious, have you heard of it before? And we'll give you a little bit of time. And if you haven't, you're in for a treat today. We're going to go deep into it. And if you have, maybe we'll be able to show you some things, answer those questions that have been holding you back. And let's go ahead and end that poll and share the results out. 58% have not heard of Spirit Sale, and 41% have. So appreciate you playing along there. We have a ton of content. We have people from Atlanta to Ghana to, Connecticut. Good to see from California, Tracy's joining us. Renice from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Jocelyn from Georgia. St. Louis, South Carolina. All types of folks today. South Dakota. We have everybody. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull up a slideshow for you. We're going to do a little bit of slideshow time. We're going to spend a lot of time in the application, but before I get to all of that, I do want to go ahead and just share some secrets for making more money with online stores. And so basically the way I see it, there are three ways that you can sell online in today's day and age. Number one is you can have your own e-commerce site. And that's certainly something I would encourage you. So if my fictitious business name was Josh Ellsworth Tees, I could have a website, joshellsworthtees.com. That can be an informational site. It can also be an e-commerce site where people can buy my product. Would especially be important if I had a clothing line or designs that I just wanted them to come to one place to shop. You can have your own .com website. Typically, you would build that website on a platform like Shopify or WooCommerce or Wix, or the list goes on and on. But having your own website that represents your brand as the apparel decorator is going to be key for you. Okay. The next way you can potentially sell products online is through what I call a third-party marketplace. And there are plenty of different places to do it, but Etsy, eBay, Amazon kind of headline the list from my point of view, especially in Etsy and Amazon for our industry, and what we see from customers that are growing really rapidly in transfers. They tend to sell on these platforms often. The benefit is it is a marketplace. So it comes a bit with built-in traffic. There are people already going to Etsy and Amazon to shop, for different reasons, whether that's for an occasion because they want to pick up a shirt, for a gift for Father's Day, or whether it would be for Memorial Day coming up. They're going out to those sites and they're thinking about purchasing one-off t-shirts and products to be able to wear. And so it makes sense, depending on the business model that you're in, to potentially be selling your products in a one-off format, one shirt at a time, for special occasions, holidays, especially in the B2C realm on these platforms. Now, the third way, and where we're going to spend most of our energy today, is where we have seen the market going really for the last 10 years, and it's been accelerated over the last 18 to 24 months due to this thing called coronavirus COVID that we're all facing here. And that is client-specific web stores. So the idea is, if you're selling to a certain client, that you can actually build an exclusive shopping experience for that client. Can be used in the B2C realm, especially for causes and fundraising, as you'll see, but very, very valuable in the world that most of us participate in business to business sales. When you're selling to groups, when you're selling to schools, to churches, for causes, to businesses, whatever it may be, that business to business transaction where sometimes we're printing many shirts for a group. And so you'll see a lot of different ways that we can set up client-specific web stores today. What all of these ways have in common that I'm going to show you today is that we're going to give you tips to be able to increase conversion rate. That basically means people that are shopping that decide to click and buy. We'll talk about some effective ways to get more conversions and increase the likelihood of conversion. We will talk about decreasing lost customers. What we have found is when you build an exclusive website and experience, it really helps to increase your value proposition. That is your unique value to that client. I mean, think about this. If somebody built a specific website just for you, that was created for you, that you've been pointing to people to shop for months and months or years and years, potentially how long, it would be very tough for you to move from that company just because you're going to save 50 cents or $1 on a product somewhere else. And so these client-specific web stores aren't just a good idea to increase your conversion rate. They're a good idea to increase your retention rate, to keep those customers that you've worked hard to line up year after year. That client-specific web store helps to create that retention. And then last but not least, certainly, is to maintain margin. Profit shouldn't be a dirty word. We're in business to make money, and client-specific web stores are going to allow you to create a retail-like experience when you're selling to groups to be able to maintain your margin, perhaps even increase your margin. And so, of course, the solution we're going to be talking about today, it's called Stahls Spirit Sale. I like to get the price out of the way right away. It's an annual subscription that's $599. I am going to give you an offer at the end to save a little bit of money on it, but don't go anywhere. I'm very, very confident that you will see the value of spending $599 a year to create unlimited client-specific web stores. That's right. You can have a store for every single business in town, or every single business that you sell to. You can create them for that $599 price a year. Okay. And so that's Stahls Spirit Sale. So one of the customers that use Spirit Sale, really, we built this solution as a company to create more successful apparel decorators. And we're finding that we've had it launched for about 2 years now, that it's accomplishing its purpose. You can read the testimonial on the screen, but the point that I want to point out is the fact on the bottom. Clients that are using online stores, that means decorators like you, we track this, people who are using Spirit Sale and people who are not using Spirit Sale. And it's consistent at our Transfer Express or our Stahls division, where we sell screen printed transfers or heat transfer vinyl. Customers that are subscribed and using Spirit Sale are growing at a faster rate, actually by a substantially faster rate in the products that they buy than those who are not. That means Spirit Sale is creating more successful customers and helping to fuel business growth, as you read in the example here from Keith from Calvary Christian Academy. So this is built specifically for you. We're not going to make a ton of money on the software, but we are going to make good success for both of us when you're successful and you're buying transfers. So talk about store types. and then I'm going to take a look at the questions to make sure I'm not losing anybody. There are two basic store types, online stores, that we can build when we talk about Spirit Sale. There is a pop-up shop, right, which are really popular right now, whether it's physical brick and mortar pop-up shops that we've seen show up on street corners in different communities or for certain events, but you can actually build this pop-up environment online. And we see this especially used for time sales. And so the idea is it opens and closes on a specific calendar. Now, if you're keeping notes, and I would encourage you to please do keep some notes, have a piece of paper and a pen out to the side. If you're not heat pressing while you're watching, keep some notes here. What we found is the most successful stores close between 7 and 10 days on the pop-up shop. Why? Because it creates this sense of urgency, and it creates a timeline where people can't just kick the decision down the road and not move forward. They know they have to make a decision from the time they see the store open within 7 to 10 days. Usually that covers enough time frame where somebody's at least going to have one paycheck in there to be able to make the purchase decision, but it kind of keeps it at top of mind and lets you focus on promoting it, keeping it at top of mind to make sure you're going to get those conversions. So pop-up shops, I'm going to give you some examples, but we've seen them for fundraising. They're particularly good for campaigns, and then even for spirit wear or small business, they certainly work. There's a lot of advantages if you are using screen printed transfers to decorate to really be efficient and make the most money with pop-up shops as a method here. It keeps your inventory very low and lean. You can print the order. I'll show you how to do that and talk all about it. Now, the second store type that I'm going to show you how to set up today is a long-standing store. Basically, this is one that we're going to open, and we plan to keep this thing open for the foreseeable future. Could be many years, as we found with some customers. Now, long-standing stores, of course, when somebody purchases from a customer point of view, your customer point of view, they expect that that item is going to ship in a certain time frame. And so there's a lot of benefits to a long-standing store that you can really spend a lot of time and energy to build the store and the branding for your client in the store and really fill it with products. But you need to be prepared to print those products to order for every order when you get the order. Okay. And so that implies a couple things. One is you need to have a print on demand technology, and how we found people really succeeding with screen printed transfers, which is one of the easiest ways to print on demand and decorate, is by stocking a particular design and using that design at the same size across many different styles. So you can simply pick and press and ship when you get the order. Really easy, really convenient, but you need to make sure you have some commitments from your customer to make sure you're not going to order these transfers and nothing's going to sell on the store. So you want to be careful about the long-standing stores and what type of customers you set those up for. You want to make sure that they're committed to selling X amount, or perhaps even setting a fee to set up the store that at least covers the transfer inventory or the garment inventory that you're going to bring into your shop if you don't have that considered already. We see this a lot for spirit wear, corporate, but we also see it a lot more in retail with boutiques and whatnot. So what I would like to do is I would like to walk you through a couple real life stores here. And so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and I'll walk you through some that we've built as fictitious stores and some that are real stores. This is an actual subscriber to Spirit Sale that built this Raleigh Plant People store that I want to show you. So I love this one. And here's what you're going to see. Like, notice up in the website address, it's raleigh-plant-people.spiritsale.com. I'll show you how to set up your website for your client. But as of right now, it's always going to be .spiritsale.com. And you make up the front part of it when we set up the store. I'll show you how to do that. But what hits me about this, it doesn't look like a cookie cutter store. You have this big, bright imagery. You can see customized buttons to the color of the store and the background picture. You can see the client logo that they've set it up for. But this is, basically a brand store. Actually, I don't know who the end client is. It's obviously people that are aligned in this group, whatever Raleigh Plant People may be. But you can see the same design, usually the same sizes, except for on the koozie, that is across the various different products. This is a long-standing store, which means this particular client is leaving it open all the time and printing to order. So you can guess that they've ordered this transfer in a product like Ultra Color Soft. And so they can keep those in stock. They can gang up some extra little small designs. And whenever you go and you shop, you're going to get the same design, but you can pick the color of the shirt you want, you can pick the size you want, and you can simply add it to the cart. So it's a very friendly e-commerce experience. I'll show you how to set up the product imagery and everything to get to this point to launch a really nice, clean looking store. Let's look at another example. I love this one too. So this was created for a sports company, a soccer league, TC United. You'll see a completely different theme on this store. And so that's one thing about Spirit Sale is you can build these web stores with different themes, different imagery, and you can even add custom pages to the side. And so if you create something as the shop owner that's care instructions or your terms and conditions, you can insert these pages very quickly and very easily across all of the stores that you build if you want them there. Okay, so that type of element can be built once and it can be applied across many stores. I really love this theme. It has the scrolling images that kind of go across, and we can go down into some of the products. And when you hover over the products, it presents to you the product name and the price. So it's very convenient. I should say all of the stores you're going to build on Spirit Sale are mobile friendly, so they can be easily navigated from a mobile device or from an iPad, whatever it may be. And one of the really cool things I like about Spirit Sale is not only can we build with standard stock transfers, but we can start to use products like transfer numbers and really offer customization to the client. Particularly beneficial in sports, also where we want to drop names onto something, whether it's for sports or for another industry. You basically build the product as the shop owner. The end client that's picking out their size and their color can click, hey, I'd like to go ahead and add my number to this. And you can associate the upcharge with it, in this case, $5. And that client can say, hey, I'm number 23, or the kid or the player I'm supporting is number 23. They can add that to the cart and you'll get the order to produce it for that particular client based on their customization. So again, another actual customer example of a store with what you can create. I'll show you a few more. This is one of the highest grossing stores that we've seen in Spirit Sale. And I love this because it's all about selling to businesses. This particular case is an employee appreciation store that's for a hospital. And so you can feature some products like they've done here, or you can always click, shop all or shop all scrub products, and it will bring up, all of the products that are for sale. And so in this case, again, you're seeing something very simple. It's a small logo, guys. If you've ordered transfers before, these small logos are inexpensive. This is just a nice, easy way to take one logo, spread it across a lot of items. And frankly, we're even selling complementary items here that don't even have a logo, so no decoration involved. But I wanted to show you this store because I really love it from an employee appreciation standpoint, how they've merchandised the items and how they've brought in their own custom imagery from their source for these scrubs for this blank apparel. So I'll show you how you can build products from our stock catalogs. That means blank apparel from Transfer Express or even some other vendors that are out there where we've created the imagery for you to make it easy. But you can also bring in your own custom imagery. If you have a really nice photo of, say this water glass that you want to sell that you're going to put a logo on, you can import the photo that you create and build a product listing from it. So these are all things that you can do in Spirit Sale. All right, I'm going to peek in just at some questions before I show you a couple other examples. Mike's asked, can you use a custom URL? So you can use it from the .Spirit Sale URL right now. We are constantly developing and we will have custom URL capability, but we do not have it yet, hopefully by the end of this year. And if you're late, this will be recorded and you can always log back in and see what you missed. And we'll send out an email afterwards with the recording. So lots of hellos. Good to see you, Lori from Pittsburgh. I'm south of Pittsburgh in Uniontown. Thanks for joining us. All right, a couple more store samples. This is another example of like a company store. So just to show you a little bit of what you can do. That's a lot like the other one, but you can also password protect these stores so nobody gets in unless they should be in it as part of the company. This one, Jenna from our team built, and it's a fitness-based store, and she actually did a video on our Stahls TV YouTube channel using these transfers and creating these products with the new Ultra Color Stretch transfers. But I just love this because she was able to create these different color combos, gang them up onto one sheet, and really order 5, 10, 20 sheets of Ultra Color, put them on the shelf, and be able to print to order even on stretchy products. So you can decorate some really high-end items, create some really high-end looking stores. And I love the fact that you can move your graphic around. You're not confined on placement like you would be with direct-to-garment printing or something else. With heat printing, one of our advantages, we could hit all of these unique print locations and placements. So make sure you use that to your advantage as you're building stores. Okay, and then one last example before I jump in. This is a fundraiser store. And so what I wanted to show you here is it's an example of a pop-up shop. And you can see there's a little banner across the tops that says accepting orders until whatever date that you set. And it will give you a countdown to that date. So again, this is just an example that kind of sits out here for us to show. But you can customize this message, customize your end date. And also down in the bottom right here, you can set up a fundraising progress bar. So you can set a goal for the store, associate a fundraising fee with every product that gets purchased. And so as purchases are made, it kind of goes up on the progress bar until the store closes to make sure you reach the goal. Okay, so really nice, some really cool things you can do with the stores. And I actually want to jump in and show you how to build a store now. So let me take a second and open that up for you. All right, and I'm going to show you how to build a store, but a couple questions just came in. So Reggie asked, can this platform be integrated with my existing website? And so what we would suggest doing is that you link these stores from your existing website. So if you've built your own website, let's say it's Reggie's Embroidery and More, and you're talking all about what you do, your embroidery business, your heat printing business, how to get a quote. Usually what we have is you would build that as a drop down that's called, client stores. And then you can have all the client stores listed. And so then it links out. And so usually that's how people are integrating it. Some of them have went a step further and created little design tile blocks for each store. So you can click on your client logo to launch the store. And again, you can password protect it so people aren't going into other people's stores unless you want them to be and shopping it. Okay, and then John asked, can my customer search for a particular product on my website? I believe there is search functionality, but let me validate that when we look at another sample store. Okay, so here's how it works, guys. You get access. Now, we're going to call you the shop owner today, the decorator. You're the shop owner. So what you're seeing here is your dashboard. When you sign up for Spirit Sale, you get access to the Spirit Sale dashboard. This is only your information, and this is where you're going to build all of your stores from. And so step number one is I'm going to go to storefronts, and I can go to stores, and you can see I built a lot of sample stores from here. So you can see literally pages and pages of different stores, some that are open, some that are not, for different particular clients. But if you want to create a store, up in the top right, I'm just going to click add a store. And we have two options. We have a normal store, which is really every example that I showed you, or some people do a single product store if it's just for like a one t-shirt fundraiser or something like that. But let's build a normal store, since that will be used, I would say 99% of the time for most business models. And it will drop you onto this page. And literally there are helpers to walk you through everything from a setup standpoint. And so the example that I'm going to do is I'm going to do Uniontown, PA, because that's where I'm from. So uniontownpa.spiritsale.com. So you can name this anything you want. And as long as it's not taken by another shop owner, you'll have access. And then from there, it prompts you to select your shipping method. So keep in mind, on the front end, you set up your UPS credentials, your FedEx credentials, whatever shipping methods you want to be available as you're launching stores quickly. You'll do all of that in your settings before we even get to building a store. And I'll jump back there towards the end to show you how to do that. But all of these things will be set up, and then it's just like click, like, yes, I want to offer UPS as a shipping option within this store. You know what? We're going to offer FedEx as well. And so you just select whatever options you want. And you can notice if you want to build shipping into the price, you can do free shipping, or you can even do pickup at location. And so let's say you're going to print all the orders and then you're going to drop them off at the school or the place of business that is that your client that's setting up the store. You can set up pickup at location and set actual addresses, and the location name and all of the details that you want the end client to know. So it does give you that functionality. Of course, we want to collect money. One of the biggest benefits of Spirit Sale compared to other platforms out there is we don't take any of your money other than that $5.99 a year. Most of the other solutions out there will take a percentage of your success. And so, yes, you're going to have a credit card fee for whatever you set up to be able to accept payment. That money is going to flow, though, directly to your bank account. It doesn't flow through Stahls and then to you or through Transfer Express into you. And so we don't take any extra percentage. We just allow these payment methods to be integrated. So if you're not accepting credit cards online right now, it's very easy to set up an account with PayPal, with Authorize.net, or Stripe. These are the three of the more popular ones out there. And you can connect your credentials and just say, yes, I'm set up with Authorize.net, and I'm going to accept payments through credit card on this store. If you're a cash business or Venmo or whatever it may be, you can click offline payment and you can edit and customize a little message for people when they check out on how to get you paid to make sure you have the money up front for the product before you produce it. At that point, you're going to come down here and you are going to select your theme, and you just pick whatever theme you want, and you can do further customizations after you build the store framework. And then you'll just choose whether or not you're working on this or whether you want to open it to the public. If you do open it to the public, you can either do the pop-up store, right, with a start and an end date, or you can turn it off and have a long-standing store. You'll notice when you do a pop-up store, you can choose whether or not you show a countdown clock and what the custom message you want to be on the countdown clock. And so let me just go ahead and select, let's open this store yesterday, just so I can make sure it's going to be live for us to see. And we're going to close it Saturday. Let's show a countdown clock as well, and we'll just keep the standard messaging. Store closes in, and it'll have the number of days. Okay, again, here's where you can assign your custom pages. If you've built an About Us page or terms and conditions or some standard page you want to be in every store, about the decorator, about the printer, whatever. And then by popular demand, after we launched this, we added this notes label field. And so a good example on why you would use this, if you wanted to make notes required, this is what the end shopper does at checkout. And so let's say you build a store for, this is Uniontown, PA School District, right? And let's say we're going to launch this out to all of the district parents, and it's going to be promoted on all the district social media pages. One important thing is, like, if somebody bought from the high school building versus the middle school versus the elementary school, we may want to turn on that notes field and say, what school and homeroom teacher, right? And so it would show the person at checkout, whatever this is, coach's name. There's a lot of different ways people use it, but it just forces this kind of field that the shopper that checks out has to enter. And that's particularly important if you're going to box all these up, deliver them at once to the district where they're bagged separately, so they could easily distribute to the kids or to whoever it's going to. So I just wanted to show you that functionality is there. And yes, you can enable a password on it as well. Once you've built that framework, you click update, and really the store is built. Now, it needs filled with products and it needs stylized and some rules set up, but we have at least the framework of the store where we could actually go and take a look at it. But what good is a store without products in it? And so there are really two ways to add products. To answer your question, I believe it was Randy, asked if wall decor and other items can be included in the store. Absolutely. If you click add custom product, you can sell anything you can imagine. I have some stores that for a dance recital have sold bouquets of flowers. I have other stores that have created a block that's just for fundraisers, I don't want any product. I just want to donate $10 or whatever it is. So a donation amount. And so you can build whatever custom products you want, where you want to sell something completely unique, whatever it is that's not in our stock product catalog. But for this case, I'm going to use the stock product catalog. That is our most used function. And so I'm going to go ahead and click on that to make sure I explain that process. Okay. And so when we go to add a stock product, we can select whether we want to do a product from one of these vendors. And we're always working to add more vendors. We should have a couple more coming on board before the end of the year. But you select the vendor that you want to build product from, and it will bring up all of the different items available from that vendor. And the cool thing here is like it's all the imagery set up. So let's just do a basic tee. We'll go with the PC54 t-shirt. I'm going to select that, and then it will immediately launch me into all of the colors that shirt is available in. And I can choose as many colors or as few colors as I want. I'm going to keep this one simple. Let's sell a navy t-shirt. It brings up the stock position on the navy t-shirt, so I can make sure I'm not launching into a back order item. That was a particularly good feature this past year when we had the national fleece shortage. People were struggling with inventory on fleece and headwear and a lot of other products. So it shows you so you don't launch a product that's in back order. And then it has a default weight, but you can update your weight and basically click import the product. So when you import it, it's going to bring in all of these size SKUs. It's going to import the costing for me, and it's going to import the product title and description that we see over here from the vendor. I don't think you should keep that title and description, but it'll at least save you some legwork on having to like transcribe the fabric content and everything. You can at least edit from that description. So I'm clicking import. It takes a couple seconds, and it actually brings the imagery from that product into my design tool. Okay. Now, one of the biggest things you can do in this design tool and is bring in your artwork from Transfer Express EasyView. So I know a lot of you do business with Transfer Express. That's why you're on this webinar. And so you can actually connect your Transfer Express login credentials to Spirit Sale to bring in all of your artwork from EasyView and easily drop it onto the product. So that's one way. I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. The other way you can do it is you can bring in completely custom art. So if you have something that you've created from Corel or Illustrator or whatever software that's sitting over here somewhere, you can just go to File and you can go to Add and you can import a design and drop it on. Of course, you'll want to import something with a transparent background. That way you don't have this big square on the shirt. So you want to be sensitive to that. You can also create designs from scratch within Spirit Sale. And when you create it within Spirit Sale, not only can you order it from Transfer Express, but you can download it to cut on a vinyl cutter or process it in any way you see fit. So if that's in laser etching for your laser business, I saw a question come in. Absolutely. You can use this to sell awards and engraving and any product you can imagine. I'm just showing you the particular example on how to sell screen printed transfers on this one. Okay, so if I want to bring in Transfer Express artwork, I've already connected my account, which I'll show you at the end. I'm going to click on Add Saved Designs, right, because I've saved it in my EasyView design library over at transferexpress.com. And over here from my saved designs, I can see all the different places I can import designs from. So I've connected my CADWorks account, which is a free online designer for vector art. I've connected my Stahls CAD Cut Templates login, and I've have some saved designs that I've built right in Spirit Sale, but let's focus on Transfer Express. I'm going to grab that and I'm going to go ahead. These are some pieces of art I've created in EasyView. This is the one I created for an actual store last year about this time. I'm going to go ahead and click that and bring it in. So you see how easy that is? I've created that in EasyView. It drops it onto the shirt at the exact size that I had it in EasyView, which is 9.5 by 10.82. You can size it up and down, but be careful because you are going to go out and order it in EasyView. So usually I like to keep the transfer size how it should look and then just increase my item size by using this plus and minus command. And let's just make the guy look a little bit bigger and let me keep my transfer size the way it's supposed to be. Let's throw on a little rotation here to make it look a little better visually. Really, I'm creating my virtual mock-up that people are going to see when they're shopping my store. So you want to put some time and energy into this. Okay, so lots of other functionality here, but the moral of the story is this is how you put your artwork onto the apparel. I could spend a whole hour talking about the design functionality in here, but I think the easiest thing is connect your Transfer Express account, bring in your artwork. Now we're selling. Once I'm happy with it, yes, you can move to the back view of the item. Some items have side views, but most of them are just front and back, and you can add customization so people can click on that. You're going to hit save. And that's ultimately going to save that design to that shirt in that placement so I can move through my other tabs across the top to further build it out. Okay, so product details, I can click on that. Again, I can update my description. So instead of Port and Company Core Cotton T-shirt, I'm going to call this the Uniontown Fundraising Tee, whatever I want to name it. And then again, you can update your description, even provide links here, assign categories to the product, decide whether you want it to be a featured product, and all of those good things. So I'm going to update this just to save it. Then I'm going to move over into variants. So your variants are basically all of your size and color combinations. But what I like about this screen, this is really where you set your pricing. Okay, so we have this button where we click Set Global Price. And let's just say I wanted to sell this t-shirt for $20. I can price all of them at $20, click Update, and it applies that price to all of the colors, all of the sizes that are in my variant stream for this product. You can see it automatically imported the apparel cost. If you want to use this to calculate costs and profit, you can click Set Global Cost, and you can update that transfer cost if you know how much it's going to cost you. So let's just say $250 or something if I'm going to order 50 of them. And again, if it's for a fundraiser tee, you can create that fundraiser fee of how much profit from each shirt is going to go back to the organization or whoever you're doing the fundraiser for. Click on Update. It'll update the fields that you've populated and keep your apparel cost here. Okay, so this is basically where you set those costs, those selling prices, and the answer is yes, you can go into the 3XLs and 4XLs and manually update the prices, or you can do like just grab the 4XLs and the 3XLs and do a bulk action where we update, you know, the sell price of all those together to charge more or whatever we want to do. So all that functionality is built right in here. At that point, we can go into some advanced settings if we want. And here's where you can add new properties like bringing in sizing charts and updating the particular slug. We have the spec sheet that automatically imports in, so it does have the sizing chart. And then after we have everything the way we want it, we move to publish and publish the product. Yes, you can publish the product as you're building it across multiple stores if you want to save you some work. And you can even put the product on the schedule, which is a nice strategy for long-standing stores where you release a product, say, the first of the month or at some known calendar to keep attention driving back to the store to be able to sell more and share more out on social media. That's really what's going to drive the result. Okay. So I'm going to peek in at questions before I leave this screen to make sure there's no more questions about product setup before I take you out to more of the store setup. Jerry asked what brand of t-shirt is usually being used. I guess that depends on your client. Most of what I've decorated in my side hustle business, I like the PC55. It's a nice cotton poly blend at a reasonable price that I think is a good quality shirt. But there's a lot of different styles of shirts out there. So I always recommend good, better, best and settle on one for your client. You can jump up to a ring spun if you want a higher quality, or even a tri-blend or a performance tee if you even want to go up from that. Yeah, David, you can definitely see your cost totals, especially as you sell products and run reports. We can run reports on all of our profit from stores or from products. And if you want to have two prices, you basically update the price. Paul asked the question at the variant level, so you can update that specifically. I think that answers that. And the question from Napoleon was, don't want to assume, but do you guys do graphic designs? Actually, we do give you access to our EasyView designer when you have a Transfer Express account, and you can build all the designs in there. There's a ton, and I mean a ton of templates and layouts. That's one of the key advantages of doing business with Transfer Express is we make you a graphic artist very easily. Okay, I think I'm pretty caught up. Ron asks, is there any plan to have Square as an option to pay? Yes. That's towards the top of our development list for sure. I know we talk about that and are going to do some work on that. I would guess by the end of the year that'll be in place. Mike says, goodbye, Shopify. Yeah. So, and that's the cool thing, right? A lot of people, when they're setting up a web store, like all you know is Shopify, like this is built for this industry and client-specific web stores. It's not going to replace your personal.com if you're selling your own retail brand of shirts. But if you're selling B2B or B2C and really want to grow your revenue, I feel like this is so much more effective to be able to have client-specific shopping experience for the reasons I stated: conversion, retention. It just adds so much value to the relationship when you're trying to grow your business. So cool. So, and I'm not even to the best part yet, I don't think. So we're going to keep going here. So we build the store. Okay, I'm going to go back to the store level on the screen here just by clicking store. You can set up notifications so people get emails when they check out with what you want it to say. You can turn that on or off at the store level. You can always go back and edit any of the store details we've built on the front end. And you can go to this live editor, which is really where we design the theme of our store. And so it's really simple. Like, it pulls this up, it drops some, we try to make some assumptions for you. But if you don't want this to say custom products, you can click right on it and you can say, you know, fundraiser tee or whatever. You can make it say, you know, live from this date to this date. You can decide if you want to update with a company logo, which will be able to drop onto the screen. We can even edit like this product button and change all of our colors. Yes, this is a stock image. You can click this replace button and upload your own image that's client specific. And you can kind of toggle around with the feature products. This is the product that we just built with all of your font colors, with all of your icon sizing, like the customization that you can do here. Like, here's the icon size. Watch the top right of the screen. Just to give you an example, like if you want those shopping cart buttons and account logins and search buttons to be bigger, you can get all of that right there. Logo font color, I think it's white right now. Let's just say this is going to be ugly, but just to show you, change it to pink, or we can kind of get in this and specify a hex or an RGB value if we want it to match the client's brand exactly. So you can be as simple or as complicated as you want. And we have customers that really do it both ways. I have some that are completely customized. I have some that are like, I don't even want to change the header. I just help me get rid of the image, which you can do just so it goes straight to the product. And so there are so many different options. You can keep it as simple, but the really cool thing is once you set up a store, you can clone that store. So it keeps all of your design framework that you like, and you can move it out. And yes, Charlie, you can change the big photo. I don't have a photo ready, but you can just click on the photo, and this little replace button pops up in the middle of the screen. Once you click on that, it's going to prompt you to attach or upload or drop the image that you want. So you can customize everything about this. Even you can put a top info banner at the top and click on it. And a lot of people will do this where they'll kind of like type in their roles, you know, this store closes and all products will ship, 7 to 10 days, whatever. So you can customize that message, format it. There's just a ton of customization available at the store level, which if you guys missed it, that's really how we got to these really cool looking stores. There's another client store. So you can see how this client customized it for this Boston women's football league with the products that they're selling. See, this is a custom product. They're selling a $10 donation. That's what I had mentioned earlier. And they're selling all these jerseys. Here's one that was built for like an online influencer with their own boutique. So there are just so many ways that you can customize and create. These are all from those 4 themes. These colorways are completely unique. Button sizes, button colors, fonts. You can build it all. So really neat. Definitely some questions coming in, and I can tell you guys are getting excited about the product, which is awesome. Let me show you just a couple more things, and then I'm going to go deep on the questions. Let me pop back out of this store. I promised I'd show you how to connect your Transfer Express account. That's a really important part here. And so all you're going to do is go into settings on the left-hand side. And this is where you're going to be able to set up endless options that can be used across stores. The button to connect your Transfer Express account is right here. It's called Connect Accounts. And when you click on Connect Accounts, you can type in your Transfer Express login information and password, and then you'll click a connect button, and it'll give you a verification that you are in fact connected. And you can also, of course, connect your CADWorks Live account if you use that for your design software. All right, so the idea here is you can set up everything from your payment fees to your shipping methods to your way you accept money. And yes, you can even do tax rates for your products by location. And so you have all of that ability to set this up based on your own business, including vendors that you use, their catalogs, etc. So very functional. We launch a store, we push that store out, and if all goes well, we get orders. Okay. And once you get the orders, this system will allow you to not only manage those orders individually to make sure that, you know, they're paid and they're ready to move through the process and give you all the customer detail, but it'll also allow you to run reports on those orders. So you can run a customer revenue report, an order revenue report, even inventory reports if you're using it to manage your blank apparel inventory. But my favorite thing is like, how am I going to make the stuff after I took all of these orders? When I talked to people, when we built this product that were running web stores, they had some good solutions, but one of their biggest headaches were processing orders and organizing all of the orders into the most efficient way to make the stuff and make money when you're decorating the apparel. And so we've built a complete production management system inside a Spirit Sale. And so basically what you do is, let's just say a store closed. You click Create Production Group. And when you click Create Production Group over here on the left-hand side, it's going to take a second to launch that for me. It will allow you to go in here under all of your orders and more or less filter by the date the order was placed, filter by the store the order came from. You know, if I wanted to do the Uniontown, PA store, assuming I had a bunch of orders, basically it's allowing you to group the like orders all into one view. And so usually what I would do is I'd either do it by date range if you want to bring in a bunch of stuff from long-standing stores that happened today or yesterday and produce them. But if you're doing the pop-up stores, I would just filter it by the store after it closes. It will pull all of those orders together. Hopefully you're running many stores at once. That's the goal. And once you do that filter, you'll be able to click Schedule Production. Okay. Once you've scheduled the production, it will drop that order collection. So all of the orders, it'll bucket them together, and it will create this little tab that says, I have 9 products in a total of 5 orders, and you can name it. And it drops it onto a production board. This allows you to manage that store all the way through the process. You can customize these stages on this Kanban board based on how you're managing your production. Like it could say, ordered transfers, waiting on garments, in my heat press department, scheduled for tomorrow, whatever you want these to say. You can customize anything in between open on the left-hand side and completed once you're completely done on the right-hand side. Once you click into this open production group, it's a beautiful thing because you can not only name it, like this is for whatever store, you can assign it to a user. If you have multiple people in your business and you want someone to be responsible for this production group, you can schedule it with a start and an end date, add notes, and it shows you everything that happened in that order. And so let's see, like this design, I can see the size and I can see I sold 2 of them, right? Ideally, we'd be making smart decisions in our design setup. So when we sell something, we sell enough quantity to make it worth ordering transfers, or we've ordered them and we're going to print on demand. But the point I wanted to show you here is that you have these collections of products where you can immediately open them in Easy View to be able to order over on your Transfer Express account. And once you do that, you can say this one's in process or completed based on the item. It also is going to pull together, and I'm just going to not show the designs for a second. We're just going to look at the apparel that was sold. It's going to show me what I've sold in that production group that I need to order, right? So I can see I need 1 bag in blue, 3 of this green bag. You can immediately drop that into your Transfer Express cart if you've built it from the blank apparel catalog from Sanmar. Or if you already have an account and you've launched product, whether it's custom or from SNS Activewear or whoever, you can go buy that from your normal vendor, whoever that may be. We just make it easy to be able to see what's sold and to ultimately purchase it and move it through the process. Now, a couple other things I want to show you, because when we built this report, we allow you to generate, when we've built this production queue, we allow you to generate reports from it that are going to be really important to managing it. Okay. And yes, the customer can see where it is in the process when they check their order status as well. So usually it says, it only shows open, completed, and then anything that you custom build that's in between those, it'll show as in process. So it's not going to show what department it's in. It's open, in process, completed is what they'll see. But these reports are really cool. So one is you can generate a purchase order, which is going to basically bring all of these blanks into one report where I can export as a PDF or as a Excel file to be able to send or rekey into my blank apparel vendor. You can generate a work order report. And so I love this. I'm going to click on this one. It'll take a second. But the work order report's really neat because this is ideally something you can pull up on your tablet if you're using paperless, or you can print if you want to. But it has this QR code. And so literally it will show you everything that needs to happen from the job. And the idea here is it pulled up this list of all the apparel items that I've hopefully ordered by now that I'm waiting for them to come in. And when they are received in, I can mark them as received. So I'm not moving that job through production or spending time on it until I have all of it or the majority of it in, whatever you set your business rules of. The same thing, the designs, you can mark them received, or if you're cutting some, ordering some transfers, you can just manage all of the designs in the job and mark them as complete. And then my favorite part is the assembly instructions. This is basically what you have to make. It shows you exactly what the customer ordered, what they saw when they checked out, and it will show you the transfer size and color and quantity that you need to create. So I know I've sold 2 of these that need to go on this bag for this placement. And so it just makes it super simple to actually create the looks that were sold by printing this particular work order report. Now, one more thing on this that I want to show you is the idea here is I order everything in, right? I'm managing it through the process with the work order report all together for efficiency. Well, once it's all done, I need to figure out who it's all going to ship to, like what individual addresses does this have to ship to? And so that's where we have this shipping report that you can generate. And in the shipping report, it's going to basically break it back to each individual order, who bought it, where it needs to ship to, and it gives you a QR code so you can go right to that customer's order and mark it complete. And this is designed to be kind of a little packing slip that you can put in the box as it's shipping. So lots of functionality, again, much more than I can go into here, but I'm definitely going to take some questions before I move back outside the platform and go back to the PowerPoint for a couple key things I want to make sure we get to. Okay, Eric asked, can you create a standalone order report, something not connected to a store, primarily for one-stop shop reporting? The answer is yes. There is the whole report section right here under the order section, and you can do order revenue. And basically, you can do it by date range, or you don't even have to apply a filter, but there's so many different ways you can skin up what you want to see in the report. We have lots of orders in this store because we all work from it, but you can see, here's the order number, here's the store it was sold into, the production status, the total, everything that you want to see. And you can even configure the report so you don't see some of these totals in case you need to send it to a customer or something like that. By date range, whether or not you want to show the line items, all of that's possible, and you can always export anything from this system. Okay, just by clicking the export button, it will go ahead and download it for you as a XLS file, I believe, so you can import it into QuickBooks or whatever you need to do. A CSV file, and so it just pulled all that data down to a CSV file for me. Patty asked, does this have an API for integration? Not at this time. Reggie asks, can my client see what's being purchased daily in a long-standing store without sending them a report? The answer on that is no right now. And honestly, I'm not sure we have plans to develop that at this point. The only way you can get some indication on that is if you set up that fundraiser goal in some way where they could see that go. But we don't have that kind of in-between client view at this point unless you export a report. Okay, Kathy asks, when you set up your catalog, can you set up some items from SNS, some from Sanmar, and it'll show both? Absolutely. Yes, you can, as long as you set up your blank apparel vendor. If you're using our catalogs, it'll automatically show SNS and Sanmar. But let's just say you order some stuff from Boxercraft and set them up as a vendor. As long as you, when you're setting up your products, your blank, set up the vendor, it'll break those out on your purchase order report. You can filter by that. All right, Mike loves the back end workflow. That's great to hear. All right, Barbie asks, if you're on Etsy, is there a way to move to this? I don't have one. However, someone I know is interested in me to provide apparel. So, I mean, you could use the product descriptions and the imagery from Etsy, but you would ultimately have to rebuild the products on here. But the benefit is, unless they're really on Etsy because of the traffic that gets, which is really important, then it should be a no-brainer to move to this. Again, this is never going to rank like Etsy when people are shopping, right, and trying to find something online. This is more, I'm building a store, I'm building a link, I have a client that's committed to share it out there, or I have a social media marketing or some sort of paid marketing plan around it if it's for a special gift giving holiday or campaign. We've had a lot of customers that do that as well. Jeffrey asked, do I have to enter the sales tax rate for states? So basically, we take the standard tax rates and their defaults in there. You can verify them and update them as you see fit. Yeah, and you can sell any product on here that you want. Any product that's legal. All right. I know there's a ton of questions piling up. I hope I'm getting to most of them. Definitely some things I want to show you still. So let me change back to my slide share. Give me 1 second here. Appreciate you all sticking with me and being so participative with asking questions. Makes it go a lot better. Okay, so that was a long way to talk about examples of store. We built the thing from start to finish to show you how it works. I wanted to bring this photo up because I wanted to show you this was an actual job, an example that was launched. This shirt was printed. It was done as a fundraiser, and it was very successful during COVID as small businesses were struggling to stay open. We saw a lot of our Spirit Sale customers do concepts like this where they did fundraising for restaurants, and actually they used that make this field required to say list the business from this list that you want to get the donation or the fundraiser fee from your shirt. So that was kind of cool. Okay, this is really cool. You guys are going to want to know this. How are people doing on Spirit Sale? So this is the sneak view of our last 12 months, what I call KPIs. These are things I think you should be measuring. So someone had commented that they have a 28-day goal to really get going. They just subscribed to this. Here are the things you want to be looking at to have success. The number one success metric is profit, right? In sales and profit. That's 1 and 2. But I love looking at KPIs so you can kind of like try to turn the lever up on specific things that equals more sales and more profit. One of those is the average revenue per store. And so for the last 12 months, an average Spirit Sale store brings in about $1,500 in top line sales. And so that takes a lot of hard work, though. There's some $20,000, $30,000 stores in there. And hey, I see stores that only do $200. But the idea here is you want to focus as a business on your average revenue per store, because then it's just a matter of how many stores can I sell if I know my average revenue is X to be able to reach my overall sales goals. Slightly, below that feeds into that is the average revenue per order, $59.71. You should really be focusing on this number because it will lead you into selling higher end items to make more money when you do sell an item, and also will lead you into bundling and thinking about your product selection when you launch stores. Let's face it, nobody's going to go into the store and they're not going to buy 5 jackets, right? But they may buy a t-shirt, a jacket, a jogger, a mug, something like that. So you'll think about your product assortment when you're launching stores to be able to increase that revenue per order. Also revenue per item. You'll think about how can I sell higher end items or better merchandise my items to be able to generate a higher profit. One definite way we've seen people increase their average revenue per item is through personalization. So decorating with transfers, perhaps having some stock numbers to be able to customize, or even having your vinyl cutter with heat transfer vinyl to drop in a name, a monogram, whatever it may be. And then, of course, the average items per order is a KPI. So hopefully you've jotted those down so you can benchmark yourself against what's possible and work to get better. Gaining the most sales. I'm gonna wrap this up in 5 minutes. Okay, if you're wondering about time. Photography. Okay, photography is really important. We do have stock products, but lifestyle photography, we've seen stores with better photography for the main image and for the product images perform a lot better. Again, selection, assortment, but not overwhelming. There are diminishing returns once you start to get into 30, 40, 50 products. I recommend keeping it to 10 or 12 items and rotate stuff out, even for long-standing stores. Just try to keep yourself in check on assortment. It's just going to complicate everything. Keywords. You want to be specific and relevant. You want to have sizing charts and good visuals. Just pay attention to your product descriptions. It's very easy to mail it in and use the standard product descriptions, but think about who's reading it and what's going to get them excited to buy the product that you're listing. And then lastly, checkout. This has been modeled off of Shopify in the checkout. So our goal is to minimize the friction. If you can bundle freight and make it free shipping or do a flat rate, I find that gets more orders than hitting somebody with a high shipping charge as they're ready to check out. Maximizing profit. You want to group orders. So the more you can group orders, the less you're going to have to hold in inventory, the more you're going to be able to order transfers at volume and save money. And so for that, you really want to think about the third point here is design size. That's key. If we can centralize on the same size of transfer for youth and adult and the tote bag and whatever else, the more items I can print with one design size, the more profit I'm going to make because I'll be able to bulk up my orders. So think about that. A white transfer is awesome because it works on so many different colors, right? So keep it simple. Also, cloning stores. We talked a little bit about that functionality, but I would recommend building your stores from standard SKUs. If you get too crazy with this shirt in this store and this shirt in this store and this shirt in this store, like centralize that. Think about keeping your blank apparel in the same general neutral colors, and every once in a while punch in something that is client specific. But if we can stick to whites and blacks and grays and things that are kind of universal, it really simplifies the model for us. And then again, manufacturing, we've talked a lot about it, so I'm not going to dwell on that one, but think about how we can group our opening and close dates together. So maybe we always close on the 15th and the 1st of the month, right? And it puts us on this cadence where now instead of just grouping one store together, I can order that PC55 in black from 5 stores that all closed on the 15th. It's really going to help simplify my production groups and save on shipping and time. When you think about this, you're selling B2B, but you're creating more of a B2C experience with individual shopping. You're just simplifying the process for the organization in between. So when you think about pricing, like we shouldn't be pricing things as if we're selling 100 at a time. There's room to inch your pricing up and have more of a retail pricing that creates a fundraiser fee for the business and makes money for you. Don't have to do the fundraiser, but usually when you do the fundraiser fee, it gets whoever's running the store, especially if it's an underfunded sort of thing. It gives them a lot of opportunity to get behind it in promoting and sharing the goals, which is super important to success. All right, guys. Well, hopefully you have enjoyed this webinar. If you need to know more about Spirit Sale, you didn't get all your questions answered, you can certainly visit spiritsale.com. And there's a little button there where you can schedule a demo, and you can actually get a one-on-one demo with either Mike or Clint, who are Spirit Sale experts, to answer any final questions. And I'm sure you can get on their calendar before the deal ends. So Good luck with it. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching.